Long ago, there lived a man whose life had been filled with darkness. His heart had become hardened by the many crimes he had committed. People feared him. His name was not remembered for kindness or wisdom. Instead, it was remembered for something terrible. He had killed 99 people. 99 innocent lives had been taken by his hands. No one knew exactly how his life had become so corrupted. Perhaps it began with anger. Perhaps it began with a moment of hatred. Or perhaps it began with a single mistake that slowly grew into something far worse. But whatever the reason, the result was the same. His heart had become buried beneath years of sin. Yet even in the darkest hearts, something can still remain. A small voice. A question. A moment of doubt. One day, after many years of violence, the man began to feel something he had not felt before. He felt regret. It was a strange feeling for him. At first he tried to ignore it. But the feeling did not disappear. Instead, it grew stronger. He began to think about the lives he had taken. He began to wonder if there was any way to escape the weight of what he had done. The thought came to his mind again and again. Is there any way for someone like me to be forgiven? But the question frightened him. Because if the answer was no, then his life would be nothing but darkness. Still, the question would not leave him. So he decided to search for someone who might know the answer. He began asking people if there was a scholar or a holy man who could guide him. Eventually, someone told him about a monk who was known for his devotion. The monk lived in isolation. People believed that he was a righteous man. Perhaps, they said, he might know the answer. The man who had killed 99 people traveled to find him. When he arrived, he approached the monk and asked a question that carried the weight of his entire life. I have killed 99 people, he said. Is there any chance that I can be forgiven? The monk was shocked by what he heard. He had never encountered such a terrible confession before. 99 lives. 99 murders. The monk looked at the man with fear. His mind struggled to imagine forgiveness for such crimes. Without thinking carefully, he answered quickly. No, the monk said. There is no forgiveness for someone who has done what you have done. The words fell heavily in the air. For a moment, everything was silent. The man stood there, staring at the monk. He had come searching for hope. But instead he had received despair. And something dark inside him awakened again. The anger returned. The violence returned. Before the monk could react, the man attacked him. In a moment of rage, he killed the monk. Now the number had reached 100. 100 lives lost. But strangely, the question inside his heart did not disappear. Even after killing the monk, the man still felt the same question burning inside him. Is there any way for me to be forgiven? This shows something very powerful about the human heart. Even after committing terrible crimes, the desire for redemption can still exist. So once again, the man began searching. He asked people again if there was anyone who truly understood faith and forgiveness. Eventually, someone told him about a knowledgeable scholar. This scholar was not known for isolation like the monk. He was known for wisdom. People said he understood the deeper meanings of faith. The man traveled again. This time he approached the scholar carefully. He asked the same question. I have killed 100 people, he said. Is there any chance that I can still be forgiven? The scholar did not answer immediately. He did not react with fear. Instead, he listened. He thought carefully. And then he answered in a way that would change the man's life forever. Who could stand between you and the mercy of Allah? The scholar said. These words were different from the monk's answer. They carried hope. But the scholar did not stop there. He understood that forgiveness requires change. He told the man something very important. He said that if the man truly wanted forgiveness, he must leave the land of corruption where he had been living. He must travel to another place. A place where people worshipped Allah sincerely. A place where righteous people lived. There, the scholar said, he could begin a new life. He could learn. He could worship. He could seek forgiveness sincerely. The man listened carefully. For the first time in many years, he felt something he had almost forgotten. Hope. And so he made a decision. He would leave everything behind. He would leave the land where he had committed his crimes. He would travel to the land of righteous people. He would try to become a different person. He began the journey immediately. But what happened during that journey would become one of the most powerful lessons about mercy in all of history. Because before the man could even reach his destination, his life would come to an unexpected end. And at that moment, a remarkable event would take place. An event that would reveal just how vast the mercy of Allah truly is. After speaking with the wise scholar, the man who had killed 100 people felt something he had not felt in many years. Hope. For so long, he had believed that his life was nothing but darkness. He had believed that there was no escape from the terrible crimes he had committed. But the scholar had said something that changed everything. Who could stand between you and the mercy of Allah? Those words echoed in the man's mind as he began his journey. The scholar had given him clear advice. If he truly wanted forgiveness, he needed to leave the land where he had lived his sinful life. That land was filled with corruption. The people around him encouraged wrongdoing. The environment itself pulled him toward darkness. The scholar told him to travel to another place. A land where people worshipped Allah. A land where righteous people lived. Among those people, the man could learn how to change his life. So the man began his journey immediately. He left behind everything he knew. He did not delay. He did not return home. He simply began walking toward the new land that the scholar had described. The road was long. The distance was great. But for the first time in his life, the man felt that he was walking toward something good. Every step he took was a step away from the life he once lived. Every step brought him closer to a new beginning. As he traveled, his heart began to change. He began thinking about the lives he had taken. He thought about the pain he had caused. The weight of his past remained heavy. But now there was also a desire to become better. This journey was more than a physical journey. It was a journey of the heart. A journey from darkness toward light. But something unexpected happened during that journey. Before the man could reach the land of the righteous, his time in this world came to an end. Death came to him while he was still on the road. He fell to the ground between the two lands. One land behind him. The land of sin and corruption. Another land ahead of him. The land of righteousness and change. At that moment, something extraordinary happened. Angels arrived. But they did not all come with the same purpose. Some of the angels were the angels of punishment. They came because the man had committed terrible crimes. They knew about the 100 lives he had taken. They saw the darkness of his past. But other angels also arrived. These were the angels of mercy. They saw something different. They saw that the man had turned toward repentance. They saw that he had left his sinful life behind. They saw that he had begun the journey toward goodness. A discussion began between the angels. The angels of punishment argued that the man deserved punishment. They said he had killed 100 innocent people. Such crimes could not be ignored. But the angels of mercy argued something else. They said that the man had sincerely begun the path of repentance. He had left the land of corruption. He had started walking toward a new life. His intention had changed. His heart had changed. At that moment, another angel appeared. This angel came in the form of a human being. He was sent to judge the situation. He listened to both sides. Then he suggested a solution. He said that they should measure the distance between the two lands. The land of corruption behind him. And the land of righteousness ahead of him. If the man was closer to the land of corruption, then the angels of punishment would take him. But if he was closer to the land of righteousness, then the angels of mercy would take him. So the angels measured the distance. The result would determine the man's fate. But something incredible happened. When the distance was measured, the man was found to be closer to the land of righteousness. Even though he had not yet reached it. He had moved far enough toward it that it became closer to him than the land he had left behind. Because of this, the angels of mercy took his soul. The man who had killed 100 people was forgiven. Not because of the crimes he had committed, but because of the sincerity of his repentance. Because he had turned away from his past. Because he had begun the journey toward goodness. This story, narrated from the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, carries one of the most powerful lessons about mercy. It shows that the mercy of Allah is greater than any sin. No matter how dark a person's past may be, the door of repentance is never closed. But it also shows something important. Repentance requires action. The man did not simply say he was sorry. He left his old life behind. He changed his direction. He began walking toward a better future. This is the true meaning of repentance. Turning away from wrongdoing and moving toward truth. And this story reminds every human being of something important. No matter how many mistakes a person has made, it is never too late to return to the path of goodness. Because sometimes, even one sincere step toward the right path can change a person's destiny forever. The story of the man who killed 100 people carries a lesson that reaches far beyond the events themselves. It is not simply a story about crime or punishment. It is a story about the limitless mercy of Allah and the power of sincere repentance. When the angels of mercy took the soul of the man who had committed so many terrible crimes, something remarkable became clear. His past had been filled with darkness. 100 innocent lives had been taken by his hands. Yet the door of forgiveness was still open for him. Why? Because he made a sincere decision to change. This is one of the most powerful lessons found in the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. No matter how great a person's sins may be, the mercy of Allah is always greater. But the story also shows that repentance is not only about words. True repentance is about action. The man did not simply regret what he had done. He did not stay in the same place surrounded by the same influences. He made a decision to leave. He began walking toward a different life. Toward a better environment. Toward people who worshipped Allah and lived righteously. This is an important lesson for every person. Sometimes the environment around us shapes our behavior. If a person remains in a place filled with corruption, it becomes harder to change. But when someone moves closer to goodness, their heart begins to change as well. The man who killed 100 people understood this. He knew that if he stayed where he was, he might fall back into the same darkness. So he left everything behind. He chose a new direction. Even though he never reached the land of the righteous people, his intention was enough. His journey had already begun. And Allah saw the sincerity in his heart. This shows something beautiful about faith. Allah does not judge people only by their past. He looks at the sincerity of their intentions. He sees the effort a person makes to return to the truth. The man's journey was not finished. But the direction of his heart had already changed. That change was enough to bring him forgiveness. Another important lesson from this story is the difference between knowledge and ignorance. The monk who first answered the man's question gave him the wrong guidance. Perhaps the monk believed he was protecting justice. Perhaps he believed that such terrible crimes could never be forgiven. But his answer came from a lack of understanding. The scholar, on the other hand, understood the depth of Allah's mercy. He knew that forgiveness is always possible. But he also knew that true repentance requires change. This is why he advised the man to leave his old life behind. Knowledge brings wisdom. And wisdom allows people to guide others toward hope rather than despair. This story also reminds us that despair itself can be dangerous. When a person believes that forgiveness is impossible, they may give up entirely. They may believe that there is no reason to change. But faith teaches something very different. Faith teaches that the door of mercy is always open. As long as a person is alive, the opportunity to return to Allah remains. The man in this story committed some of the worst crimes imaginable. Yet his final decision to turn back toward goodness changed his destiny. This is why the story has been told for generations. It reminds people that no one should ever lose hope. Even those who have made great mistakes can still find forgiveness if their repentance is sincere. But the story also carries a warning. It reminds us that life is unpredictable. The man died before reaching his destination. He did not know that his journey would end so suddenly. This reminds every person of something important. No one knows when their time will come. That is why repentance should never be delayed. Every moment is an opportunity to turn toward the truth. Every moment is an opportunity to leave behind the mistakes of the past. The story of the man who killed 100 people ultimately teaches three powerful lessons. First, the mercy of Allah is greater than any sin. Second, true repentance requires sincere action and a change of direction. And third, hope must never be abandoned. Because even the darkest past can be transformed by one sincere step toward the light. And sometimes, that single step is enough to change a person's entire destiny.